Working as a referee in the four official system is a continuous dance together with your partner to always find the best possible sightlines. This is created by continuously working in a diagonal position and always try to identify the areas of responsibility and areas of risk where you as an individual has a responsibility to watch. Let's start looking into the areas of risk when it comes to the end zone. In the end zone, one of the most natural positions to watch for is when play is in and around the net. This is where we can see that most of the play and the attention will be throughout the play in the end zone. When we divide the area of risk in front of the net, we take it up in 3 parts. This is where you have to make sure that you and your colleague has a good communication prior to the game to assure that you know in which area you are watching, depending on where the play is positioned and where you will get the best sightline. Naturally, when the play is on the same side as the referee, that the referee R1 has the major focus in that area of risk in front of the net, and that R2 covers up the remaining parts of that risk area. These risk areas are divided into 3 various parts, but we also have risk area 4 and 5 that is around the net and where we often have play coming in towards risk area 1, 2, and 3. Here it's also important that the game officials and the referees find the best angles to make a right call on the ice. This is where R1 must work up and down towards the boards and above the icing line to be able to make a proper decision in that risk area, depending on where the play is positioned. Also, R2 has to find the right angles to identify where in the risk area he or she is currently watching. It is important to note that ice hockey is a fast-paced sport and where we are never standing still. We are in continuous movement to find the best sightlines and the best angles to make the right decision. The work to find this in the risk areas in front of the net starts already when the play is transitioning from one end zone to another through the neutral zone. Let's take position of the R1 following play into the end zone. Here it's very important that R1 has the major focus on the play closest to the puck. R1 should not pay attention too much outside this area, and when that area creeps up to where we have a shared responsibility, it's important that the R1 works to get the best sightlines towards the situation, and that R2 follows up and covers the remaining areas of the ice, but also has an angle to be able to support R1 in those decisions. The higher up the puck comes, the bigger responsibility will be on R2 compared to R1. It is important that both referees continuously work with active skating to find the best angles and the sightlines to the situations to make the right call. When there is a battle up the ice and goes towards the boards, as in this situation, R1 has the main focus in this area of risk and responsibility. It is important that R2 is not also watching the same situation and the puck, rather covering up the other areas of risk and making sure that he or she covers the remainder of the ice surface. This is to cover any secondary infractions that might come up, or if we have infractions happening outside the main area of play. In this sequence, we have a good example where R1 and R2 is sharing the responsibility from the play moving up towards the ice. R2 that now becomes R1 up in the left corner, you can see how he has the main responsibility on the puck and the players around the puck. R1 that becomes R2 has a great opportunity to cover up the remainder of the ice and the remainder of the 2 areas of risk where R1 is not watching in this situation. This means that R1 has a great opportunity to find infractions happening around the area of play, and where R2 has the possibility to really make sure that he makes a good decision on any secondary infractions, or where we could have different situations happening connected to, for example, interference situations breaking in towards the net. This is not that R1 and R2 always have to watch and make sure that they take, for example, the same penalties. That is not the ultimate goal of making the decisions on the ice. The ultimate goal is that the game officials and the referee shares the ice and divides the responsibility so that we cover as many situations as good as possible.